I think we all need to speak to each other, to have this direct conversation. And I'm a representative of the German Chancellor dealing with African issues, African affairs. So I'm very interested in meeting people from Africa to speak about African issues. I like also some controversial debates, and I think it's better to have this conversation about the images, the perceptions, and such a forum is very important to get new impressions, or to get a kind of kind of new visions, and maybe also new communication strategies. I studied physics, and I'm not a journalist, a man from a public relation agency. So I think communication is very important, is necessary, but the main issue is the content and the product. And if we are speaking about nation building or branding of a country, then it is much more important what is going on the ground, what are the real environments, the real condition for ordinary people, and not only to have a perception of a sportsman or women or of a president of the country, but patterns of our perceptions are much more triggered by bad news, by big presidents, people. The big shots are much more important than what is really in a very specific place or site in a very specific country. It's really going on the ground. Germany and the German Chancellor Angela Merkel herself, we are very, very interested in Africa and African affairs, and also to change the perception of Africa as a neighboring continent of Europe, and as a business destination, and also as a continent of a great diversity, the beautiful landscapes, the green continent, not only the deserts, the colored countries, people, so many diversity of languages, of ethnic groups, and of chances and challenges. So that I'm interested in much more to understand Africa than to speak about Africa as a continent and with one sentence about 54 countries. That's not possible. That Africa is much more diverse than Europe.